Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. So first thing you guys notice is the new toolbar that comes with the 2.09. So for those that are using the later version of the wizard, you won't see this toolbar up here. This is specifically for the ones using the 2.09, which was the newest upgrade. So if you purchase a 2.0, you can just go into your order form and download the 2.09 because it was a free upgrade. So once you download it, and also make sure to watch the tutorial video on it, because it will show you guys how to download the toolbar and put it directly where you guys need it to be. But right here is the 2.09 toolbar, which is going to have a lot of features that Corel has that we just figured it's going to make your life easier when working with these. So up here you have your pick tool, you have your freehand tool, your wireframe, which we use quite often, your B-spline 2-point line curve, your 3-point line curve, a lot of the simplify, a lot of the shaping features here to help you guys out. We also have our edit text features here. Convert to curves. So again, a lot of features are going to make your life easier. A lot of Corel features that are going to make your life easier because you're going to be one click away right there. So we're going to go ahead and click on my stone wizard here. So to bring out the wizard, you'll notice at the left-hand corner over here, we have this nice little logo with the TRW. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And are you guys getting some feedback? Okay, you know what? It sounds almost like... Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. Feedback? Are you guys listening? Okay, it sounded like somebody that became an organizer. Honestly, what I think happened, Matt is listening in at his house, and I want to say that he left his mic on, and that was the feedback you guys were hearing because he just signed off, and now we're good to go. So Matt's gone, so now we're ready to get this webinar started, right, guys? All right, so what we have here is the TRW Stone Wizard. So you'll notice this is the 2.09 version that we're using here. Okay, and Russ said good night, Matt. So good. I'm glad. So everybody's good now, right? Perfect. So one of the biggest things with the wizard, with the 2.09 upgrade that we released about 3 weeks ago, was the ability to zoom in and zoom out the wizard, so it's not just one standard size. What was happening prior is that the resolution on your computer made the wizard either too big or too small for your screen where it was hard to see. Now we actually created a zoom button here, so you can just click on the zoom button and it's actually going to increase or decrease the size of the wizard. So you see that? So now it makes it very easy to actually work with the wizard with the space you're provided. So if you have a smaller computer screen and you want a smaller wizard, no worries, just zoom out a little bit and now you have your perfect size for that computer screen. So that was one of the biggest things that we wanted to upgrade with the 2.09 because we had a lot of requests for it. So that was just one cool little thing that we added onto it. Another feature in here to make your life easier is our color selection here. So we have all our colors here as well as all of our stone colors here as well. So you can fit about 18 colors here on the left-hand side, and then the rest of your colors are going to be on the right-hand side. So you have your 32 preset colors that we offer. But of course, you know, we understand that you guys won't always purchase stones from us. So we actually give you the ability to enter in your own colors. So all you have to do is click on the little pencil tab, which is going to open up the TRW Edit Colors box here. And you're going to be able to just name it TRW. And if you know the RGB color to a particular stone color, you'll be able to enter it right here in the RGB section. So you can just type in 5, and you can tell us how it's changing that color already. So let's change that a little bit more. So you see that it just changed it to about a forest green here. So now all you have to do is hit Add. And now you see that the TRW font that we just created is all the way at the bottom. Two ways. You can now move it up to the top by moving it with the arrow key right here, or you can hold Shift and just hit the arrow key, and that's going to bring it all the way to the top of the list. Hit Save, and now what you're going to notice is our TRW color that we just created is right at the top. So it's right here in the top of the list. Just makes it easier for you guys to go in and click and select that particular color when you guys are working with it. Alright, our next feature that we have is our stone sizes here. So, again, we have the preset stone sizes that we use here at the TRW. But of course, you know, we understand that you guys might use a different stone size when working with different templates. So, what you can do is also edit this tab. We have our little pencil right here. And you're going to get your TRW Edit Stone Size box pull up. You can type in the stone size, the variance, and the fixed size to change these stone sizes here. So, depending if you want to use maybe a 0.130 or 0.131 circles in your templates, you can change those stone sizes right here. So again, just hit Add, Save, and the Stone Wizard will pop right up. Alright, so next feature we have is the shortcut keys right here. And these shortcut keys basically allow you to one click away you can replace or respace a design. Or excuse me, resize a design. So let me bring in this file. Let me bring in my Love Football file here that we have saved up. And I'm going to go ahead and ungroup it. And now let me show you what those quick features do right here. So basically the same thing as the ones we have here on the right, to the right of the smaller boxes here. This is the resize and the replace stones tools, which is the same thing that these shortcut tools will do for you. And all you have to do, let's just say you want to create this design and S is 16ths and increase the size of the overall design. Go ahead and left click right here on my 16ths, and that's going to change that design to the correct size. So you have 0.173. The actual size of the design increased as well to 11.4 now. So that's how you would increase the overall size of a pre-made design by changing the stone size. And let me show you the difference. So now let's just say you wanted to create this and this is 6s, but you didn't want to change the actual size of the design. All you have to do is go right here to your shortcut keys and right click on my 6, and that's going to change just the stone size. So you see that? So it just changed the stone size, but it kept my design at the original 8.4 width of the design that was originally. So again, those are the quick shortcut tools here, and the way to change those is hold shift, and once you hold shift and then just left click on the actual number, that's going to bring you up the TRW quick set, and then you're able to change your settings here for those shortcuts. And Karen said yes, it will work on all. Karen, are you saying when I right click on a particular design, will it work on all the stone sizes? If so, yes. Yes, it will resize. Well, no, actually right click is going to replace the stones for you. Left click is going to resize the design for you. All right, Karen? So right click is going to respace, and left click is going to space it. But it does add more spacing, exactly. Yep, it adds more spacing to it. So yeah, in other words, that when I did that resize there, Karen, did you notice how it resized it, but it kept the stones, and it kept giving more space in between each stone, so the design doesn't look nearly as good, doesn't have the stones as close to each other? Exactly, yep, perfect. Alright, so moving along. Next we have our select all stones here. So we have find all the same size selected, we have find all the same color selected, and we also have find all of the same size and same color selected. So very useful tools when trying to select a bunch of stones that are the same color, the same size, or the same color and size. Just by selecting one stone, and then you can select that tab right here, and it's going to select all the same color, same size, or the same color and size. Alright, so one of the first tab I want to show you guys is the Edit tab. So the Edit tab is going to really allow you guys when working with TrueType fonts or manipulating a design, a pre-made design. You can use this Edit tab quite often to create different, manipulate that design or add a text or a custom name or, whatever you guys are trying to add on to a previously made design or a TrueType font, working with a TrueType font. So the text spacing, very awesome little tool there. Another quick button there that Corel offers, but it makes your life easier. Let's just say you type out baseball and hit my text spacing here. And now when you hit text spacing, you get these little arrows. And if you drag the arrow to the right, notice how it creates more spacing between each individual letter. You see that? So just spreads those up a little bit. It gives you a lot more room to work with, especially if you're creating a vinyl design and you type out baseball, you're going to get a lot more room in between those letters. Alright, so let's go back to my pick tool here. The next feature we have here is the copy selected. Now copy selected is one that we like to use quite often, specifically when working with different designs and maybe want to duplicate a design, a vinyl design that you want to create a bunch of. So what we can do with the copy selected, let's just say you have just a simple design here, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and click to the right, and notice how it just selects those and copies that particular design. And if you change the offset number here, it's just the spacing between the copied designs. So notice how now there's a bigger space now between this design here and the one that was copied. So that's what the offset is right here, and then you can just copy the design by the arrows as you see here. Alright, so now select between two stones, or excuse me, fill between two stones here. Very simple. Let's just say we have our drop one stone tool right here. So let's go ahead and drop two stones and unselect it. Let me actually change the color so you guys can see those a little better. So we have these two stones right here, and you want to fill the gap between them both without actually having to click, 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 click. Let's go ahead and select these two and just do fill between two stones, and there you go. So you have, it fills that gap between the two stones that had a nice area in between where there was no stones at all. So it just fills that area up for you guys. Alright, our next one is the two-color magic text that I want to go over. Now the two-color magic text is a very, very cool feature when working with TrueType fonts. So let's just say we have, and I'll show you guys a HTV font and also a Rhinestone font so you guys can see how it works for both of them. So let's just say we have TRW, and we'll go ahead and copy it. So we'll go ahead and create this one. We'll make a TRW football laces, and then we'll make this one a Rhinestone font. So let's go here, and let's just choose a two-color Rhinestone font. And I know the TRW7 is a two-color design font, so I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. So for the two-color magic text, all I have to do is select my first color here, hit two-color magic text, and there it goes. So it actually adds a second color for you. All you have to do now is hit my resize design. It's going to ask me not all stones are 0.129. Would you like to replace stones? Say yes. And now you have your design completed here, and you're ready to create your template. So that's how easy it was to create that two-color font there using our TrueType fonts and our two-color magic text. And again, guys, if you guys have any questions at all as I'm going, please make sure to stop me. I do tend to speak a little bit quick, so make sure you're also asking questions for Dan in the background. He's also answering all the questions that are coming in, the ones that I can't get to, so make sure you guys ask him a bunch of questions as well, all right? So that's our two-color for the Rhinestone font, and now we got our vinyl font up here. Great thing about the vinyl font, we can resize it to whatever size you guys need it to be without having to resize or worry about the stone size. So now we're ready to add that second color. So I'm going to go two-color magic text, and bam, there you go. So you have your two-color text. All you need to do now is mirror this image and create your template. And I do have a question coming in from Debbie. Will it make two colors if you don't use a two-color font? I'm not sure. Now you're saying, Debbie, is it going to add a outline to a one-color font? Is that what you're trying to say? The way the two-color magic text, it's supposed to work with fonts that are created in a special program. So unless you're actually doing the steps to make it work with compatible with the Stone Wizard, no, it will not add a second layer to it, Debbie. That's actually something. The actual two-color magic actually reads the way the TrueType font works, and it recognizes that it has a second color, a second layer to that particular font. So it adds it. Otherwise, if it just sees a one-color design, it's not going to recognize that second color or second layer, so it won't do that for you. But great question. Actually, that's a very good question. All right, so that's the two-color magic text. Does anybody have any questions on the two-color magic text at all? Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, so moving on. Now we got our two front, two back. Very simple, very quick little tools there. So let's just go ahead and let me go ahead and copy this one. So let's just say you have, this is blue, this is yellow. We have our design here, and this one's over the yellow. You want this to go to the back, hit two back, and now the yellow's in the front. Same thing, you want the blue to be the front, hit two front, and there you go. So that's just easy little feature right there to help you guys work with these designs. If one's overlapping, you can move one to the front, and now you're able to do something as a magic trap where you'll be able to trap these together for use of glitter vinyl, holographic vinyl, whatever you're working with. All right, which brings me to my last feature here in the Edit tab, which is our magic trap feature. And our magic trap feature is a very useful feature. It's a feature that we use primarily when working with the HTV heat transfer vinyl, because it allows you to, basically it's going to create an overlayer, and that overlayer is going to allow you to use two different types of glitter vinyl or two different types of holographic, because it's going to allow you to put those the two materials directly to your garment. So in that case, once you wash that clothing or that garment or that bag, it's going to ensure that the corners won't peel because it's actually directly to the garment, so it was pressed correctly. Both layers are directly on the garment. Because if you guys have never worked with a heat transfer vinyl, it is not recommended to layer a lot of the different materials, such as the holographic or the glitter vinyl. You don't want to layer those, so that's where the magic trap comes in handy. So let's just say we have football typed out, and we'll go ahead and make this a different font. So let's go to my font tabs up here, and I'm going to go to my impact. And actually the fonts tab is something I'm going to go over as well. It's a very cool feature in the wizard. Just, again, makes things easier when working with the fonts and also TrueType fonts. So now I'm going to choose my impact font here and go ahead and make the design just a tad bit bigger. And I'm going to go to my place and fill, and I'm going to add one island to the outside at 0.08. I'm not going to add stones, and I'm going to select outside, and I'm just going to do the island fill. So now you see I have a second layer to this design. So right now, if I click the top layer, you can see that that back layer is still a solid, which right now, let's say if we cut this out and we try to use glitter vinyl, you wouldn't be able to, because it's gonna, you need to layer it, and after a few washes, you're going to see that it's going to start peeling because of that rough texture that the glitter vinyl carries. So what we want to do is we want to, first of all, simplify this, where it's going to hollow out the background, and it's also, yes, I can move this TRW Stone Wizard, yep. You see that, Alan? Alan asked, can you move the TRW Stone Wizard? And yes, you can. You can move it all the way to your second screen. So right now I have it off the actual computer, off the monitor. I have it on a separate screen. You can move it back in here. You see that? So yeah, the TRW Stone Wizard can be moved around. All right, so back to this. Let's go ahead and now make sure that we do the magic trap. So what we want to do, I'm going to go back to my edit tab. And now the 0.02 here is actually the 0.02 overlap layer. So the extra layer that's going to create, that's the offset there is the 0.02. So that's what I wanted at. We like to make it not too big, just a little bit, so there's not a lot of room. There's a little bit of room for error, but you still won't be able to tell when you actually press the material. All right, and I see a couple questions coming in. No, I couldn't see it because it was behind the webinar screen. Oh, okay. Can you see it now, though? Let me know if you're still having issues with that, Alan. And then Deanna says, I'm having troubles with the magic trap when I cut the fill. Colors not overlapping the outline. Is there a reason why this is not happening? Am I doing something wrong? Deanna, in that case, we can definitely shoot us an email, and maybe with a screenshot of what you're seeing on your end, and that way we can kind of help you out through that. All right, we'll be more than happy to help you with that. No problem at all. Okay, so now let's go ahead and use our magic trap. So I'm going to highlight my design. So I got my two colors here. I'm going to hit magic trap, and now look what happens. So now it's simplified it. But also, if I go to my wireframe up here, so I got my wireframe view, little tab right here in my brand new toolbar that came with the 2.09. And now what happens is I have my two layers here. This is the one that just got created, and basically that is your magic trap. That is what gives you that little bit of room for error when working with these glitter vinyls or holographic. If you guys have worked with those, you know it's very tough to layer those materials. So let's go back to my normal enhanced view, and then this would be ready to cut. So you just need to mirror this design and create your templates, which is my next tab. So to separate these two colors now and send it to your cutter, all we have to do is mirror the design first and hit my Create TRW Magic Templates, which is right here in our Templates tab. And now we have our two separate football templates here created with the outline and the fill. You guys see that? So that's how quick it was to separate those two colors from a design. And I do have some questions coming in. Let's see what we have here. Can you make the green fatter, thicker for overlay? Yes, Russ, absolutely. In that case, what you could do right off the start, let's just go ahead and get rid of that green now and go back to my place and fill. And let's just say you want to make it just thicker. We'll go to 0.1, and I'm going to do an island fill, and now you see how it's a much thicker border. So just by changing the contour spacing in the place and fill tab, it's going to allow you to add a thicker outline to the design. And yes, actually you're right, Russ. Let's just say now, because I know the impact font is a bold font, it is easier to work with, but like exactly what Russ said is, or is it limited because of the font? Some fonts, such as some of the fonts that are closer together, you'll notice that once you go with the contour spacing a little bit too much, it's going to become just kind of almost like a bubble when you create the outline or the island fill, which obviously it's not going to look correct. So yeah, depending on the font also, that's going to influence on what that outline is going to look. And Joanna said, how much do you want under for the magic trap? Hey Joanna, like I said, we use 0.02 just because we found that that's very convenient to work with, to press. But obviously you can use a little bit more if you want more of the shirt showing through. So let's say if you want to see more of the garment showing through, you can definitely do more of a offset number to make it more of a overlayer. Does that make sense, Joanna? Okay, awesome. And Lisa said, can you repeat how to make the outline thicker? Okay, yeah, absolutely, no problem at all. So let's go ahead and get rid of the outline. So I have my football here. And let's just say you want to add an outline to this. We're going to go islands, one island to the outside. I'm now going to select my stones, and I'm going to change the contour spacing here. So let's just say you want a contour spacing of 1. All I'm going to do is select my 1, hit island fill, and see now if I select 1, see what happens here? That's too big. We don't want it to be that large because of the font. Now it almost just looks like a block. That's not what we want. So what you can keep doing is just kind of keep testing it out. So we'll go 0.09 maybe now. And see, now that's a much nicer font right there, excuse me, border right there. You see that? But by changing the contour spacing, that's going to change the actual border of the particular font or design you're working with. All right. Now our templates tab is our tab that's going to separate colors. So let me go ahead and bring back my TRW football design here. And I'm going to just bring this down just a tad bit. And I'm going to ungroup it. So down here I have my ungroup, group, and ungroup all features. Basically what they do is if I bring a design in right here, you can tell I'm moving it all because I'm just grabbing it and dragging it. So it tells you that this design is grouped together. To ungroup it, we can either ungroup everything selected or ungroup everything selected in all groups. So we only have one group here, so all we have to do is click on the center one. It's going to ungroup this design, and now I'm able to select on each individual circle here. You see that? So now I'm able to work with that design and manipulate it how I want. So the Create TRW Magic Templates is going to separate these colors. It's going to create 3 different templates for each color in here, and they're all going to be the same exact size. Basically, we use the same size as a registration mark. So you're going to see all three yellow boxes that's going to create. It's going to be all the same sizes. For when we're brushing the stones in, we have a registration mark when we're actually doing the brushing in and going over with a hotfix tape. So I'm going to highlight my design, and I'm going to hit my Create TRW Magic Templates. And that's going to separate those colors for me. So we have the L, the fill the L. We have the outline of the L and the football fill. And then we have our little football guy here on the right-hand side. So that quick, that easy to separate those colors. Now we do also have some other features in here. We have the Create TRW Overcut and the 2+ Magic Cuts and the Create 2+ Magic Cuts templates. So the 2+ Magic Cuts, very simple. Let's just say I zoom in here. I'm going to highlight my design. So let's just say you have a cutter that doesn't give you the ability to do a 2-cut rotation. No worries. We have a feature in here that allows you to create these circles in a 2+ cut magic cut, which is going to allow the cutter to basically get tricked into cutting the circles twice. So it's going to give you a much cleaner, much more detailed cut. So you're going to be able to get these stones a lot closer together. And all you have to do, just hit your 2+ magic cuts once you actually create your templates. And now you can tell the difference. When I zoom in now, you can see they're hollow. And what this is actually doing is going around the circle once, twice, and one more time around just to give it a cleaner cut. So if you're using a lesser quality cutter, this is a great feature for you guys to make your designs cut a lot nicer and a lot smoother. And now the overcut, it's a similar thing. The only difference is the overcut is actually going to give you a more of a just one time around the circle and about half a circle more. So that way you're going to be able to use these with a more experienced, more professional cutter is where you would want to use the overcut templates feature here, which is going to go over the circle once and just about half the way more on the second turn. So that way, again, it's going to give you a much cleaner cut. At the end of the cameo actually gives you a double cut feature, so you don't have to use it, but you can definitely use it if you would like. And will that make the stone size bigger? No, Russ, it doesn't. It just basically it just goes through the circle a couple times. So it'll go once around the circle for the overcut, once around the circle, and then half a rotation more. Whereas the 2+ magic cut is just going to go once around, twice around, and then about a quarter of the way more with that 2+ magic. But it won't make the circles. And if it will, it'll make it just a tad bit bigger. Nothing too drastic. Karen, for the Puma 3, that actually also gives you the 2 output cut, so you'll be able to actually use it with that one. You actually can use the Great Cut software to do that with when cutting the circles. You can actually choose that in the Great Cut software. All right, so moving on. Does anybody have any questions on the templates tab? Okay, awesome. All right, so a couple quick features down here that I want to show you real quick. The first one is this is the Clear Paths tab down here. So basically, let's just say you want to create a design. So let's just say we type out TRW. Let's go ahead and make the caps. So we have TRW. I'm going to select fonts, and I'm going to check my impact font again. So I'm going to go ahead and type. Actually, you know what? Let me do college. Let me see if we have a college black here. All right, so we do. So let's go ahead and select our college black. I'll go back to my stone wizard, and let's just say you want to add stones to this particular design. Actually, let's make it just a tad bit smaller. All right, so let's just say you want to do an outline of this particular design, but you want to take off the TRW, the inside actually lettering, and we're going to leave the outside in rhinestones. So I'm going to go to my place and fill, and I'm going to do add stone selected path, and now we have our rhinestone selected around all of the actual outline of the TRW that we typed out. Now, if you want to get rid of the inside, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my design, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit Shift and then clear paths, and there you go. So that cleared the path for you. Now you have TRW typed out, ready to go. So that clear path is going to delete that inside or the path that's created by the actual TRW Stone Wizard. All right. Next one is our Magic Respace. Now the Magic Respace is actually a very powerful tool. So let me go ahead and bring in these. I got a couple S's typed out that are all kind of scattered around, as you can tell. So what we have here is we have the same color, same size, all spread, all scattered around. Okay, and Debbie said, how do you fix the stones that were overlapping? Okay, actually, Debbie, I can show you that real quick. Good question. So now we have this. The one thing you could do right off the bat, Debbie, is let me go ahead and bring this back. I'm going to hit my quarter detect, and that's actually going to clean up a lot of those stones. So you see a lot of the ones that are touching are now together, but the ones that are touching, Debbie, one thing you can do is hit our merge overlaps right here, so merge overlapping stones, and I'm just going to highlight my design. I'm going to hit my merge overlap, and that's going to merge all those together. Oh, I'm sorry, it looks like we have some paths in here still. Okay, so now let's go ahead and merge our overlaps. So see that now when I merged it, now those ones that were previously touching are no longer touching. You see that? So the ones that were touching are no longer touching. Or you can do a mark top layer or mark bottom layer that will just select those stones that are touching and allow you to actually delete them yourself. And Leslie, that's actually a font. That's actually already a font that's created. In that case, in order to move them closer together, you can break apart the curve, and that'll let you move each individual stone, or excuse me, each individual letter from the font. And basically, Leslie's question was, how do you move just the W closer to the R? The spacing looks off. Unfortunately, that's actually a font that we did not create. That's just a normal collegiate or college black font, and that's just how it's made. But if you did want to switch, if you did want to move it closer, you can basically just go to your objects and do a break apart the curve, and that's, or excuse me, break apart the text, and that's going to break those apart, each letter apart, and you'll be able to move those one by one. Okay, sounds good, Russ. Sounds good. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Now, let me go ahead and bring back these S's that I have here to show you the Magic Respace tool. And again, guys, feel free to ask as many questions. Let me know if you guys need me to slow down. Like I said, I do speak a little bit quick, and I try to get as much as I can in the hour span that we have here. All right, so let me go ahead and ungroup these and show you guys how we're going to do this. So right here we have the first S is all the same color and all the same size. So I'm going to do is highlight my design. I'm going to hit my Magic Respace, and there we go. Bam! Now you have the S is all respaced now. And if you want to add some stones, you don't like the spacing in between all the lines, I'm just going to go ahead and just add a couple. Oh, let me go back here. So let's go ahead and respace those again real quick. And if I want to just add a couple stones, I can hit my up arrow here. That's going to add stones to it, or my down arrow, which is going to relieve some of the stones. So we have all the same color, all the same size here. Here we have same color, different sizes, no problem. Highlight my S, hit Magic Respace, and bam, there you go. You got it respaced perfectly. Now here we have different colors and different sizes. Again, no problem at all to respace. Highlight my design, hit my respace tool, and bam, there you go. So that S is respaced. So no matter how scattered they are, if they're in the same line path, it's going to respace it accordingly to you for that particular design. Now here we have, again, scattered around, but we actually drew a path this time. Now all we have to do for this one is hit my path, and I'm going to hit Magic Respace, and there you go. So respace for you. And Joanna, Perfect question. Drana wants to know which size, which one doesn't know which one to fill. In that case, all you have to do is once you have your whole design selected, make sure you click, because it starts with the SS6 here, it's going to add 6s to this one, but let's say if it ended in a 16, you would hold shift, select the first one that you want, the stone size that you want selected, and reselect it again. So you can click it once while holding shift, and then click off of it, and then click back on, and that's going to turn it on and let the wizard know that you want to space it with the 6s or the 10s. Thank you, Russ. Thank you. Yep. So very, very convenient tool again. Different sizes here, same color. I'm going to hit my path, and I'm going to hit my magic respace. And there you go. Bam. So notice how there's a lot of stones in between here. We don't want that. Let's go ahead and release some stones here. So I'm just releasing stones. Bam. So now there's perfect space in between that design. And finally, we have the same thing. We have the different sizes, different colors. So again, let's go ahead and click on my path, respace, release stones, and we're good to go. You see that? So now I'm just going down, releasing some of the stones, make sure it doesn't have nearly as many, and we're all good there. See that? So now the spacing is perfect, exactly what we need to do. Russ says it looks like DNA. Yes, it does, Russ. Yes, it does. The DNA that makes you all the money right there. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. Now we have also one feature that a lot of people always ask is, does the wizard give you the information of a particular design? And it does. Not a lot of people know this, but it does. So what I'm going to do is bring my baseball mom design in here. And let's just say we have this baseball mom design created. I'm going to ungroup it. And you want to know how many stones this design has. Let's go ahead and select my color here. And let's just actually change that to a real TRW color. And we'll do the same for this one. So now, as long as you have the TRW color selected, it's going to actually tell you the information of this particular design. So let's go ahead and change this to red. So now we have our design. I'm going to highlight it, and if I hit my info right here, what it's going to tell me is the design dimensions, so 7.56 tall by 8.8 inches or 8.82 inches wide. We have all our different colors: citrine, peach, red cyan. All right here. It tells you the total stone design count. So now you know all the details of this particular design. So now that we're in this design, actually I want to show you a couple different things that we can do with this. Another cool feature we have up here that we added. So let's just say right now you want to add another text. So you want to add something different up here, maybe put softball mom instead. No problem at all. With the wizard, makes it very easy. Let's go ahead and just, first of all, get rid of the baseball. So I got my freehand pick tool up here. So notice how I selected that. I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete. So I got rid of the baseball. Now let's go ahead and hit create that softball mom up here. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab my circle tool here. And I'm just going to go ahead and drag this over. Okay, perfect. Let's move it just a tad bit there. And I'm going to go ahead and choose my pick tool. Now what I can do up here in the new toolbar, we actually have a fit text path, or the edit text tab, or we also have our change the case. But what I want to do is I'm going to do a fit text path here, and all I'm going to do is start typing. So let's go ahead and hit softball. And notice it's a little big now, but if you shrink it down, and this is not really going to matter because I'm just going to use a true type font anyways. So I'm going to use my TRW 130 because I know it's a small font and it's going to fit in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and select my font here. So I'm going to highlight my design. I'm going to go to my TRW 130, which is right here. Alright, so it looks like it's just a little bit off. Just want to move it just a tad bit this way here. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my pick tool. And I can double click here, and that's going to actually let me select this particular design here. So now I'm just going to make it a tad bit bigger, and I am ready to go ahead and resize this design. And no, Lisa, these fonts do not come with the wizard. The wizard does come with its own font. It comes with a set of 4 fonts, but it's not this particular one. And if you actually go on the website where the wizard is located, under the gallery section is where you'll see what fonts come with it. So now we're ready to resize the design. But let's just say you do want to change the softball in here. Let's just say you want to change it to something else, a different name. In order to edit this particular word here, instead of actually double clicking and trying to rewrite it, all you have to do is go to my edit text right here, and let's just retype baseball in there. And notice how it just types it out, hit OK, and now it switches to baseball. You see that? So again, very easy to work with. Now let's go ahead and just move it just around a little bit. there. Perfect. So you can retype out the word. Let's just say you want to type in football, even though I know it wouldn't correlate with this design, but let's just say you do want to have football there. Hit football, and then you got your football design right there. You see that? So now you're ready to resize it. Renee, what size is the design, or I'm not sure what you're saying there. All right, so let's go back to softball, and let's get this design done. So hit OK. Now we got our softball here. I'm going to double-click my circle down here to get rid of it. So if I double-click that, now I'm able to go ahead and resize my design. So again, I'm going to go back to my Stone Wizard. I'm going to hit resize that to size 10, and you see that? Now we have softball there. So look at that. Perfect size, 0.129. Looks awesome right there in the middle. And now you have your softball mom design. So from here, now we were able to change the colors. So I showed you earlier how you had the select same size, select same color, and all that up here. And I do see a lot of questions coming in. What do you do about the word intersecting with the bat like that? You're saying the mom design right here, Lisa? In that case, that's a little bit tougher to work with because you had the bats in the way. So you would have to make sure that design fits perfect in between those bats right there. All right, and the TRW fonts already we have will work with the wizard. Yes, absolutely. As long as they're TrueType fonts, Wanda, they will work perfect. Okay, so yeah, Lisa, what happens is there when it was touching is because I hadn't resized it yet. Once I resized it, it actually made it to the correct size. And I know because of experience, I know that the TRW 130 was going to fit perfect in this area right here. So, okay, I understand where you were coming from now, Lisa. And Lisa was just asking about, because previously before I did the resize design, it was actually the softball part was actually touching the bats there. All right. So now let's just say you had this design and you had two of them. So right now, if I did want to select just this design here and just the black stones in this design, I couldn't do it just by clicking on one stone and coming up here and hitting select all the same color. You see that? It wouldn't work because, oh, let me go ahead and make sure these are all the same color here. There we go. So it wouldn't work because if I did that, it's actually going to select both of the designs. You guys see that? Okay, so that's not what I want to do in this case. In this case, I just want to only change this design right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my design. I'm going to go to my design prep feature up here, and I'm going to do process by color. So that's going to actually allow me to process each one by color. So let's go ahead and make this yellow. So we'll make this citrine. Perfect. Now we're going to process by color again. We'll make the ball cyan. And, of course, we're going to make the bats topaz. So let's go ahead here and go to my topaz, and now I have this design changed, and this one is still the same color. You see that? So if you did have a separate design here on the side with colors that you didn't want to change, you want to leave this one how it was, then you would use the design prep tool up here, which is going to allow you to change all those colors very quick. And Debbie said, what if you want it to overlap and replace? Debbie, explain which one do you want to overlap? I'm not sure. Was that previously when we had the softball? Yes, Russ. By clicking the process by color, it automatically changes to the next color, so it makes it very easy to change the full design of that particular color. And Debbie, in that case, she said, sure, anything. When you're doing something like that where you want the softball to stand on top, I would do something where you would do a mark top layer and then see which ones are touching, and then you can delete one by one, or you can do a mark top or merge overlap, which is going to do the same thing. It's going to merge all those stones that are touching into one. So it will leave the spacing around the softball, like the L, it will leave those spaces open for you to go ahead in there and manipulate. All right, so moving on, let's go ahead and now I want to go ahead and get into the mock-up feature. So with the mock-ups, is very, very, very good, cool feature that we have that allows you to basically send these designs once you create a design. It allows you to put them on a T-shirt or on a black background, but basically it allows you to send it to your customer, the full design created with a realistic look, with the rhinestones looking realistic, or the magic vinyl, the glitter vinyl, or the holographic vinyl, or the fashion vinyl. We have a picture for every single vinyl that we carry that's unique. So the glitter vinyl we have a picture for here. You see that? Every single vinyl that we carry in glitter, we have a picture for. The neon glitters, there they are. We also have the holographics, really, really cool designs here. So let's just say we have, see that? Now we can change the color to that. So again, it's going to give you a more realistic look to the design. We have our fashion vinyl here. So what I want to show you guys is how to create cool looking design. So we'll put the softball mom on the front of the shirt, and on the back we'll go ahead and put the last name with a number, so you guys can see how it's going to be placed on the mock-up and also create a proof sheet. So let's go ahead and we'll put the softball mom on the front of the shirt, and I'll put my last name with number 7 on the back of the shirt, or it's 24. So let's go ahead and type out my last name here, and also I'm going to go to my edit tab here, just copy select it real quick, go back to my mockups, and I'm just going to go ahead and retype. I'm going to do 24. So with the fonts, I showed you guys earlier that you're able to do the 2-color magic text when working with the actual letters. But in this case, I'm actually working with numbers. The numbers are a little bit different. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and select my TRW. I know I have a softball font here. So I'm going to go TRW softball. Softball images right here. Perfect. So now it actually creates that softball image for me. And I'm also going to change this font to maybe Impact. So now we have an Impact font here. Make this just a tad bigger. So now we have my last name, the 24. Looks awesome there. Go back to my pick tool. And now I want to show you guys how to do the 2-color with the numbers here. So the first thing I want to do is, you'll notice if I go to my edit. Yes, Karen, you can make him say anything you want. Yes, as far as the letters, yeah, we have a whole alphabet that you can use this for. Karen, the numbers, they are set. So we have different numbers. We have the different football image numbers. We also have the laces number. So we just came up with a lot of different fonts with different images and actually the laces of the balls and everything like that. All right. So let me just increase the size a little bit, make the last name look a little bit better there. All right. Oh, yeah, Karen. Yeah, actually, Karen had a great question. She said, what I meant was, can you make the number any size you want with that? And yes, Karen, because we're using vinyl here, you're actually able to increase or decrease the size no matter to whatever you need it to be. You don't have to worry about the actual stone size. So it actually allows you to manipulate the size of the vinyl or the vector designs like this to whatever you guys need it to be as far as the size of the design. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my edit tab here. No problem at all. No problem at all, Karen. So what I'm going to do now is, yeah, exactly, Russ. And that's actually the font we have created. It already comes like that for you, Russ. Russ said, that's cool how the figures show up. Exactly. Now, this is actually a 2-color font there, Russ. Let me show you how to add the second color. But yes, we actually have several fonts now that we created just like this that have the images of football players, the baseball players, softball players, as you can see here. So a lot of cool different fonts and very, very easy to use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit my 2-color magic here. And you'll notice it just changes the first color. It didn't actually add my second color to it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to double click here, and I'm just going to highlight my 24, and I'm going to hold down shift. So I'm holding shift while I'm typing out 2. Oh, let me go ahead and do that again. I'm holding down shift while I'm hitting 2, 4, and notice how it added the second color to my design right there. You guys see that? So now we have our 24 with my last name ready to go. So let me just make the spacing of the workspace here just a tad bit bigger. And I'm going to go ahead and change the color to the last name here. Let's go to Magic Vinyl, and I'm going to make this, let's go ahead and make this white. We'll make the black here white as well. And we'll make the inside, let's just go ahead and make it blue for now. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight, actually let's go ahead and make it gold. So I'm going to highlight my top design here because this is what I want to be on the front of the shirt. And the last name with a number on the back of the shirt. So I'm going to go ahead, highlight the top here. I'm going to go to my mockups, and I'm going to go ahead and hit my, change the description name to TRW Softball Mom. And I'm going to go down here to my select front and back, but I want my proof, so I want proof front and back. Now I have all my different selections here for shirt styles. So I have my women's scoop neck, my V-neck, long sleeve. So all different styles here of shirts. We have our men's shirts, our youth, accessories, custom, all the good stuff. So actually in the custom section, you'll notice we have 6 custom tabs here and another 6 here. And we actually have videos that show you exactly how to install your own mock-up to that custom section of the wizard. So let's go back to my women's shirt here, and now let's go ahead and create this proof. So what I want to click is I'm going to want my logo in this design. I also want my stone simulated, and I want my stone detail in this design as well. So I'm going to go to my shirt and click on, yeah, Russ, we're working on that. Russ said, oh, and it looks like I don't have my logo in there, so it's giving me a weird message for the logo, which is fine. So what we have here is we have our shirt created, and actually now because you're actually able to change the color of the shirt here. So if I want to change it to, let's just say blue, I can change the color of the shirt. You notice it has the wrinkles down here, so it gives it a realistic look. If I zoom in, the stones actually look like rhinestones. So you have your topaz, you have your citrine, and you have your red cyan here. And notice if I zoom in even more, you can actually tell they're realistic looking rhinestones. Alright, same with our vinyl. Let's go ahead and change the color to this. Let's change it to blue. And if I zoom in again, you get that realistic gold look and the realistic glitter look, vinyl, white glitter vinyl look. So again, you can tell your customer, hey, this is exactly what the design's going to look like. You don't have to cut out a sample and mail it out. You can send them this proof sheet. Now if you go down, look at the actual proof sheet, we have our price quote. So that you can actually use this as basically your template for your pricing, and you know what the quantity is going to be and everything you guys need to send to your customers. Almost you can use it as a quote almost. And all you have to do is edit the shirt color. You have your design locations, any additional notes. It tells you exactly what the stone information is here as well, so they can see exactly what's going to the design and why you're pricing it, or why the price is what it is. Also, you can edit everything you see here. You can actually edit. So you can edit it one time, or you can edit forever, because we actually have a video that shows you how to edit everything in here by going to the settings and changing these permanently. So every time you create a proof, this is what's going to come up with your settings in there for what your company uses as far as the artwork, approval, all the shirt colors, everything you need, you can actually edit in this proof sheet. And Debbie, we don't have it installed in the wizard. That's actually something we might do in the future. But right now we do have a pricing calculator that we sell on the website, and it's an Excel file that you can actually download, enter in the labor, the material cost, shirt cost, everything you guys need as far as the pricing, and it's going to calculate a price for you. So it makes everything very, very easy when actually trying to calculate the price of what you guys should price, that particular design or that particular tote bag or shirt. It makes it very easy for you guys to calculate the pricing for those. Yep, Russ, not done yet? Yep, exactly. So Russ had a very good question. He said he saw the watermark, which is what I was going to get to right now. So let's just say you're ready. You think this design looks good. Let's go ahead and add a watermark, so that way your customers know that where it came from, and they can't steal that design from you. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to hit add watermark, and now that's actually creating a watermark. You see that? So we have the copyright there. And now you have a watermark ready to go, protecting your image. And if you guys want to add a little bit more to the mock-up, just to add more oomph to it, we have our magic bling here. And if I hold shift, it's going to go ahead and create a nice little star for me, so it gives it just a little bit more pop to that design. So just a little fun feature there, but it gives that mock-up a lot more of a blingy look to it. So again, it just goes back to making it as realistic as possible for you guys. So once you're done with that, just click on the magic bling, click away, and you're ready to go. So now, let's just say this mock-up is ready. It's exactly how you want it. Go to my export feature here, and you can export the PDF or the PNG or JPEG file ready for emailing to your customer. So you're able to send this proof exactly how it looks to your customer. They're waiting for a signature back and approval of that customer, so you guys can go ahead and start creating that finished product for them. So very, very powerful tool. This is actually one of the tools that a lot of people, even at the shows, will come to our booth and purchase the wizard just specifically for the mock-up feature, because it is so unique. All right, so now another feature here, another thing I want to show you guys is, let's just say you're ready, you're done with this mock-up. You don't have to backspace. Don't do that. All you have to do is go back a page, and if you want to get rid of this particular page with your mock-up, just right-click, and you can hit delete, which is on the bottom here, right here, delete page, and it actually deletes that page for you. So now you got the original page that you started working with here. So there's that. All right. So the final tab I want to show you guys is the place and fill. So the place and fill is basically everything you need as far as the rhinestone part of the wizard. So this is what's going to allow you to add contour spacing, a contour line or a rhinestone border around a design. So let's just say we have, let's go to our basic tools. So I'm going to go to my basic shapes here. I'm going to grab a heart, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw out a heart real quick here. So if we want to add, let's just say you want to add a couple lines to the outside of this heart and just make it 3 islands to the outside full of stones, no problem. Let's go ahead and select 3 islands to the outside. And now what islands really is just a path, so it actually creates a path for you. You see that? But we can also create the path with the rhinestones already on there, which is what I want to do in this case. So I'm going to do add stones. We'll do 0.14 contour spacing. 0.14 contour spacing. And I'm just going to do an island fill to the outside. And see what it does? It actually places the stones for you. It gives you the path, which we'll delete by hitting clear paths here. So now let's just say if you did want to do separate colors for these, no problem. Don't add the stones. What you can do is just do an island fill. And then we have a topaz selected, so I can click my first layer here, add topaz. So now you want to do maybe aqua for the second layer. Let's go hit my second layer, hit aqua, and there you go. So you can customize each individual path like that just by selecting it individually and changing this and adding the stones to it. So now if you want your third color to be emerald, select emerald, add stones, bam, there you go. So now you got a 3-color, real cool looking heart design here, and you can just clear paths, hold shift, clear paths, there you go, you're ready to go, and create your templates. Alright, and Rover's Place says, is there a way to move the TRW fonts around? Like you can move colors, or can the font names be changed? Well, Rover, you can actually add them to if you go to fonts, you can actually add them to your favorites up here, and then that way you can have them always there, the ones that you use most frequent. That's why we added here. But actually, that section of the actual font library right here, so that's actually font library, we can't switch because that's actually what's in your computer. That's your font library on your computer, and that's where all these fonts are. So that's actually in alphabetical order, so you can't move them, but you can actually add them to the favorites list up here, and that way you always have them there ready to go in a quick, short, and it doesn't take too long to find them up there. All right, so now we have the hatch fill. The hatch fill is useful because the hatch fill is what you're going to use when, let's say, you want to type out, base, actually, we'll just go back to TRW. So let's just say we have TRW, and we have that college black font that we used earlier. All right, so we have our college black. Let's go ahead and change that to college black. Let's make it just a tad bit bigger. All right, so let me show you guys real quick how to. So let's just say we wanted to add 1 island to the outside. So I want to add an island to the outside in 1 color, and then I would want to fill the TRW part with the 2nd color. So what we have to do in that case is I'm going to keep it at contour spacing 1.14 just because I want a little bit of space in between to show you what that contour spacing does. So I'm going to do add stones. I'm going to do an island fill to the outside. So that's going to add that 2nd color for me. Actually, you know what? Let me do just a tad bit bigger here. All right, so I'm just going to do the island fill to the outside. All right, so get rid of my paths. And now I'm able to add my stones to the inside. So what I want to do in this case, get rid of my islands. I'm going to do inside, and this is going to be at 0.00. And now what I can do is hit hatch fill. Oh, actually, you see what I did wrong there? Let me go ahead and switch the colors. So make this one aqua, and now I can do my hatch fill, which is going to add that 2nd color to it. You see that? So now I'm able to clear my paths, and now I have a cool looking 2-color design here. And of course I would have to clean up a couple areas here, and that's just because how the font's originally created. There's a lot of spaces where they're touching with the T and the R, so that's why it looks like that it does there. But this would be the way to create a 2-color design with an outline and a fill. So if you guys have never actually worked with the hatch fill or the island fills, that's a real quick way to create a cool looking design in a matter of no time. All right, and Karen said, have a question. When you're doing the new 2-color fonts like the sports baseball, how do you change the color of the laces? And Karen, very easy. All you would have to do is just select the, are you talking about the heat transfer vinyl fonts that we came out with? let me know. Okay, with that one, just simply click on the laces and you're able to change the color for those. And we did come out with a video, actually. I believe we came out with a video last week how to do that as well, Karen. No problem at all. All right, and then another quick one I want to show you guys is the effects feature down here that not a lot of people know about, but it's very, very cool feature. So let's just say you have LRHS, just a local school here, and we want to go ahead and we'll just make this into we'll do football laces just for Karen. All right, Karen? So we have our football laces here. Let me add my second color to it. So I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to select my second color. And you see we have our second color here. Now, if I just want to change that laces, I'm just going to change it. Just click on my laces here or on the border, whatever you want to click on. That's actually the second color that you want to change. And you can simply just change it from there. You see that? Very easy. All right. So let's just say you have this design and you really want to add almost like a scatter effect outside of it in Rhinestones. So let's just make this a tad bit smaller. I'm going to go to my place and fill. We'll do 8, density of 7. And I'm going to do my scatter eclipse, so it's going to create an eclipse around it. And I'm just going to do my contour spacing at 0.08. And I'm going to do my island fill here. So all I'm going to hit is island fill, and watch what it's going to do. So now it's going to run through the wizard, and it's going to create this cool looking design here with now you have scattered rhinestones all around the HTV vinyl. So now you have pretty cool looking design in a matter of no time. A lot of people always want to do the scatter look to it. That's one way to do it there. So you have your LRHS. Notice that the stones aren't touching that. They're spread out. Now the spreading is based on the islands that you put around it. So you notice a small scatter effect here, but if you added more islands and more density, it's going to look a lot crazy, a lot more stones in there, make it really pop. All right. The second one we have is, let's go back to my contour right here, my scatter contour. Let's just say you have a heart design. So we'll go back to my heart. And I'm going to go ahead and just create my heart here. And that's a little too big, so let's make it just a tad bit smaller. And let's just say we go back to 0 here. We'll do decrease by 9. And we'll do 10 islands to the outside. I'm going to add the stones. And we're going to fade by 0.02. All right? So what we're going to do is hit my island fills again. And now notice what it did here. It doesn't look like much at this point, but if I highlight here and I get rid of my paths, what I have is a very cool looking design, kind of a scattered heart design here. And if I click on my heart inside, it's still vectorized. So what I can do from here is go to my magic vinyl, maybe go to my holographics, and look at this. Now we have a very cool looking design inside with the rhinestones on the outside. So let me show you here a finished product. So let's just say you make that white, highlight your design here. I'm going to go my quick proof. So I'm going to add the stones, simulate background. I'm not going to add the logo or the watermark, but I'm just going to add a background and simulate the stones. And look at that. So there's your finished product design. Real cool, real fancy design in a matter of no time with vinyl and rhinestones on the outside. Russ said trippy. Yeah, very, very cool design. So another cool feature in the wizard that not a lot of people know about just because I feel like they get intimidated by, everything they see here as far as decrease count by, fade by. And we are working on a cheat sheet, guys. Hopefully we get that out to you guys soon. Basically with the settings of the contour spacing, fill line spacing, and all that. So that looks like we are just about the hour mark here. Do you guys have any questions at all? Hopefully you guys learned a lot this one. Oh, another cool thing about the wizard, guys, the most important thing we have on the wizard here. So we have our tabs up here, right? We actually have a video tutorials tab. So what we have done is created a video for every single feature that you see in the wizard. We've actually created a video for. So it allows you to kind of learn at your own pace, replay the videos to understand a certain feature, and it really allows you to kind of learn the software at your own pace. Because we understand these softwares, there is a learning curve for every single software out there. So we just want to make that learning curve a lot easier for you guys. So we have created a video tutorial tab here. So let's just say you're in your Stone Wizard tab and you don't know what Islands does. No problem. Go to your video tutorials tab here, right here, and just go to place and fill, and you got your islands right there. So that easy, that quick to learn what that islands tab does. All right, Renee has another question. She says, what size stones are you using with the small rhinestone fonts? Renee, with that one I was still using SS10, the one that I created the softball with. I just did SS10. Personally, if you guys are just starting out, SS10s are much easier to work with. So Now, if I did use the SS6 stone, you would notice that that font would be even smaller because that's the actual size of the design would be a lot closer together. All right. Any more questions, guys? I do want to answer as much as I can before we go. I know it's getting late here. I know probably Daniel's over here falling asleep on the other side, probably. Will the Wizard program update auto? No, Russ. Actually, what we'll do when we do have updates is we'll put it right there in your orders. So all you have to do is just download it at your own time. But yeah, with the updates, they'll be free. Excuse me, the upgrades will be, the updates will be free. So once we update them, if it's a simple update, those will be free, and then the upgrades will be the ones that you would pay for. But you would only pay for that full amount only one time. Once you purchase the Wizard, you'll pay a one-time full amount fee, and then after that, you'll only be paying the difference from when we upgrade them. Linda, yes, this will be recorded. Actually, it is recording right now, so yes, it is being recorded. Joanna, is there a difference between an X7 and X6? There is. You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell that there's a bit of a difference. We still use X6 here. I am using X7 right now. I'm still learning it a little bit, all the new features on there. But if you have X6, it still will work perfect with the Wizard. If you don't want to make the upgrade to X7, you don't have to right away. I know they are still working on some of the bugs and fixing a lot of the new features on the X7. So, but I mean, it is a great software. X7 is definitely top of the line. But yeah, I mean, there's the difference there. But Joanna, in reality, if you have X6, you don't really need to update to X7 just yet. All right, Em, good night. You have a good one as well, Em. Thank you again for joining us. And Diana, just to watch the recorded version, it's going to be on our YouTube channel. We usually try to upload them within 24 to 48 hours after the webinar is completed. All right, so you'll be able to find it right there on the Rhinestone World YouTube page. Russ, the heart, yeah, I can definitely post that there for free. I can do that first thing tomorrow morning. I can do that for you guys. I'll post it on there for free. I mean, I think I already have one similar to this for free on the website. But yeah, I can certainly post that there for you guys. And what I'll do is I'll put it under the deal of the day. No, you're the man, Russ. Thank you. But I'll put it under the deals, and you guys will find it there for free tomorrow. All right? Thank you, guys. Thank you. So it looks like we're all out of time here, guys. I do appreciate everybody joining us tonight. I know we'll probably do a lot more of these nighttime webinars, as it looks like we had a great turnout. We had over 90 people show up, which is awesome, awesome. Again, thank you all for joining. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call, 941-755-1696. Oh, looks like everybody's liking the night version, so we'll definitely we'll run it by the big man, let him know that that there's a request for these, all right? Thank you, Russ. I like you already. Look at that. Russ said, tell Matt he can sleep in any time. You did a great you did great tonight. Thank you, Russ. Appreciate all the love, guys. As always, you guys have a great, great night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, make sure to join in. If you guys are up early enough, 10:30 tomorrow, we have the webinar on the shortcut tips and tricks with Corel Draw, which I think is going to be very, very useful for you guys. I mean, even if you guys have been using Corel, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to learn a lot of new cool tricks on there tomorrow. All right, guys? So make sure you go on the website and sign up for that one as well. As always, my name is Rudy. Everybody say thank you to Daniel. And no, he was not falling asleep. He is actually hard at work editing videos right now as we speak. So everybody say good night to Daniel. Everybody have a good one. Again, Rudy signing off.